What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? It is your host Ghost here, joined with,
Like UI 43.
Discussion.
and you are watching Tough Shit Podcast, where it's the only podcast where we speak our mind. If you don't like it, well,
Tough shit.
all right. Well, today's topics, guys, we're going to be starting off with government experiments. I'm talking like the Monarch program, mind control. I'm talking about brainwashing. I'm talking about electroshock therapy. I'm talking about anything that the government does that most people aren't aware of, that are plausible or rumored things.
Conspiracies.
Yes, for the most part. I don't know if that's the right word, though, because nowadays, more than not, it's been proven that conspiracies are turning out to be true. So I don't know if we should call them conspiracies anymore. More like unanswered questions. So where do you
Well,
guys want to start? I mean, Monarch program is what, 70s? Vietnam War? Before that,
What is
I
it?
World
don't
War II.
Mark.
What is it? The Monarch?
Yes. Where they would show monarch butterflies on screens is a brainwashing technique. They also used the Wizard of Oz. They used
There's
Alice in Wonderland as triggers.
subliminal messaging. Try to
Yes,
brain competitive.
that's why you see a lot of Alice in Wonderland stuff still nowadays. That's why you see a lot of Wizard of Oz stuff nowadays. What they would do is they would give them high levels of PCP and LSD, like more higher levels than I think they knew was even legally possible. They were just pushing people to their limits. And once they were under the influence of the drugs, they would mind control them with speeches or trigger words or color flashes or anything that can make their mind flip into the right space they need them to be in.
Well, basically, the best way to put it for you people is if you ever played Call of Duty Black Ops, this story to that.
Yes, for the most part.
Called being a
Um,
sleep
Sleeper agent, yes.
word. Use a word and triggers these.
Like what they utilized the Winter Soldier in from
Bucky
Captain
Barnes.
America's Civil War. That's
Perfect example, yes, of a sleeper agent. But what most people don't understand is, yes, that is 100% real, and yes, that did happen in our government. We're the ones that did first look into this and start pushing into it. And I think that led to a lot of unwanted experiments, such as, well, actually, let's rewind that back, because we are not the founders of these weird experiments. I take that back. Nazi scientists, unfortunately, are the creators of all these extreme experiments. They're the ones that started putting dye into people's eyeballs to see if their irises can change colors due to dye being shot into their retinas. They also did experiments on conjoined twins to see if they could detach them or reattach them to see if they would live, which one would live and which one wouldn't. They did also many, many experiments on that.
As shitty as the word, you could think for about 80% of the luck. That's a big one. The
You're breaking up again. You're breaking up.
it's,
This is just not your night tonight for it, man. You're just breaking up all over the place.
Well, I'm stuck in a tropical storm. Like there's a hurricane right.
That's what I figured. That's what I told him. I was like, it's probably storms. Watch, because we got storms here too. So it's
Yeah.
probably the combination of storms.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, guys, but next week it'll be better. I promise you. Maybe
maybe,
if it's not stormy.
maybe. I got like
Either-
6 of them there now.
It's Florida though, so it's always raining.
Right. Well, that night out in the fucking stick. So
Right. It's all good though. But like, what are your thoughts on how they utilized it? Do you think it was moral? Was it justified? Do you think we could use it nowadays? Even is it something that they should look into more?
no, why would you have to do something like that when you have a religion? You can brainwash somebody. No, I mean, this is tough shit. So I'm gonna
Yeah, go
diabetes,
for it.
fucked up shit, but I'm gonna attack somebody's religion. You can lie and make somebody believe that they're doing God's work,
Yeah, that's what the
and
church does.
it's
Yeah,
more effective than making somebody sit down in front of a TV and show them flash. Why would that one? They've been doing it for thousands of years, and you know what? That religion is peaceful at one point. I mean,
right.
the basis of that religion is peaceful, but the people that are doing it are extremists, and they warp their sense of perception into believing that they're doing something.
It's their sense of justice. They think that
Yeah.
what they're doing is right, and it's
And I'm
it
not saying
depends.
we do
It
is right either.
yeah, everyone's got their own sense of justice, but
I mean, granted, don't fucking blow up a building full of women and children because they can't do anything, or
right.
anybody. I mean, I don't know how that got misconstrued because you got to feel something, unless you're a cold-blooded killer. You got to feel something when you do something like that. You know it's not right. Quit fucking doing it, you piece of shit.
Well, I think that was the whole point is they just wanted to take out the whole emotional part of human beings to make them into living, breathing meat
but
uh,
but
shields
you're
for whatever they need them to be.
Well,
they,
like you were talking about Nazis and all that. Look what they did to their soul. They were on meth.
yeah.
Yeah.
Their citizens were on meth,
Mhm.
and it was a human way. But I mean, they took that because of what the Russians and what the United States were doing. Because we had our soldiers on was that benzene or ben, whatever it's called.
It was
What-
an early version of Speed.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had our soldiers on speed stuff. So I'm like we're not any better. Like that's what I'm throwing out there. Like that's
Yeah,
not.
we're definitely no, we're not better. We're definitely not better because we're going to be getting into some of this stuff that is definitely wrong. I heard I think it was I'm trying to think. I know we did it earlier. I know the experiment started in what I know you just looked it up, but I forgot. Like World War II or was it Vietnam?
Well, I know World War II was the Nazis were on their soldiers were on meth, and so were
Yes.
so were the citizens in Germany
Correct.
because they actually said that a lot of people developed meth addictions, and I'm like, well, no shit.
I think it was well I'm really thinking it was before um the Cold War, because the Cold War I think is when they used it the most for spies, and they would use it for spy work. So that way, whenever you went into a mission, you didn't even know you were in a mission until the mission started. That was the whole
Yeah.
point. And then you forgot what you even did after the mission was done because they had you so looped in your own head.
I honestly don't think it works the way these games do. I mean, I'm no psychologist and I've never seen it done, but in the same sense, I'm sure they had some percent. They were tracking what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
Right.
And
I think it was a lot. I think the closest perception we've seen to it on film is in the movie Get Out, when he goes to the sunken place. That is literally what happens when you go under for hypnosis. Your subconscious sinks down to a point where you have no control over your body anymore. You can hear and see everything, but you cannot control what is happening to you. It's some sort of psychological phenomenon that happens. I'm not sure how they do it, but it's a
here's the
real thing.
thing: you need to be. You need to want that. You have to let that. You're a person of
Yeah.
average intelligence.
Yes, I agree with that.
Make,
Yes.
make you do it, and I don't care how long they put you in a chair. You're either gonna fall asleep
Yes.
or you're just gonna let it happen. I mean, you can't
Yes.
just.
But of course, this is the government, so they're going to find susceptible people.
Yeah,
Once
You-
again,
they
I
gotta
mean-
find weak-minded people.
Yeah.
why I think it was kind of thrown to the wayside, at least to our knowledge, because it's ineffective. You'll get a couple people, but you don't want a dumbass
Exactly.
operate in the field when you're doing shit with nukes. When you have high value people that need to be, you know, they need to be somewhat competent in a job.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't just magically get competence.
Her off the street and tell her to do that because she's gonna fuck it up. So you got to have somebody who is capable of doing extreme things.
Oh wow, I didn't even know about this.
What's up?
So Japan's Unit 731. It's a
Yep.
World War II unit. Throughout the 1930s and 1940s, the Japanese Imperial Army conducted biological warfare and medical testing on civilians, mostly in China. The death toll of these brutal experiments is unknown, but as many as 200,000 may have died. Now this where they gets into like what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So among the atrocities, they had typhoid and plague-ridden fleas spread all across China. Prisoners that they captured were marched in freezing weather to purposely get frostbite so that they can learn how to help treat frostbite.
Yeah.
Then some of their prisoners were doused with poison gas. They were put in pressure chambers until their eyes popped out, and they even dissected prisoners, civilians while alive and conscious. Here's the real shitty part about this. After the war, the U.S. government helped keep the experiments secret so that they can utilize Japan as a Cold War ally. That makes us a shitty fucking country.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, here's something that's even funnier about Japan and the U.S. On the day of Pearl Harbor, when they attacked, our president knew about it before it happened, and he didn't say a word because he wanted to go to war. Did you know that? It wasn't FDR, I believe it was, or who was it?
FDR.
Yeah, FDR got a contact the day before Pearl Harbor, telling him that the boats would be attacked on that day, and instead of taking it as heed and preparing for an attack, he slept on it because he figured if we go to war, we'd have a better chance at winning and getting what we want than if we didn't. Now that is wrong. That makes us look bad. That. And then people wonder.
You got to remember too, if we didn't go to war, Germany would probably still be in power.
Most likely, yeah.
And
I mean that's the one thing. Like, I mean, it's bad, but you got to remember, like, before we entered the war, I mean, they were in control. I mean, Russia was starting to push them back when they opened up the eastern or the western front, and then Britain was still fending them off. But I mean, who knows? I mean, no one truly knows.
Well,
yeah, history works the way it should.
Here's another thing. Look at Vietnam. That was a war nobody wanted to fight.
Right.
Now, if we had a reason behind it, something horrible happened, like Pearl Harbor,
right.
We didn't let them do it, it would have been, people wouldn't have gave a shit.
Yep.
You would have had a draft, and the same shit would have fucking happened that happened in Nam. We lost that war. So, I mean, because there was no motivation, there was no support. People spat on the soldiers, called them baby killers, but they were doing the same thing people were doing in not Vietnam, but World War II.
Yeah.
I mean, and they had no support. And I'll be completely honest with you. I mean, if we hadn't went to World War II, we'd be eating sauerkraut right now. So
I don't think it would have got to that point.
it definitely would have been a different world. It may not have. Honestly,
I think predominantly there would have been Russia, there would have been Germany, and then there would have been us, like as the three predominant powerhouses.
Yeah.
Well, and Japan, because Japan was allies with Germany.
Well, then even then, like, people were so scared of Russia back in the day. So scared of Russia. Like Red October. Everyone was so afraid of an invasion from Russia happening. And I'm sitting here like, I was always thinking like, dude, Russia don't even have the helicopters to get here. Like they don't. Everything they make it was so poor quality at the time they were making it that. Why even worry about it?
Because the T-34 tank that they made in World War II was the best tank.
Okay, tanks. I'll give them tanks.
Well,
that's what part you got to give.
What it is, they became masters of manufacturing average quality weapons like the Kalashnikov, the tank, but they're so poor now. Their economy is so poor that they can't innovate like we can.
Right.
They're repurposing tech that they had in the Soviet era weaponry. They're repurposing it for modern. Like they're just
They're using
updating.
the same stuff. Yeah. They're not.
There's a shit ton of them. They have a shit ton of weapons. That's primarily what they were manufacturing, or still do manufacture.
Right.
Half that shit gets shipped out to other countries. So
Yeah, and the weapons that they ship out are the ones that kick our ass in all these conflicts.
Yeah.
well, look at Iraq. I mean, all that weaponry, literally, they left. Why we-
Actually, Iraq. Oh no, it wasn't that. I'm thinking of Iran. I was gonna say Iran were the ones that gave them those weapons to fight Saddam Hussein, and then we ended up screwing ourselves over because they ended up getting in Al Qaeda's hands, and then we had to fight our own weapons.
What happened in Iraq is we sent CIA out there to supply, believe it, with weapons by the Soviets. They kicked the Soviets' asses, and the Soviets left all that weaponry along with all our shit. And then they did their own fucking thing.
Oh
Because
shit!
they fought for their freedom. That's what they wanted to do, and they started fucking raiding each other and doing all kinds of shit. But
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, with the whole experiments thing, we don't even know. We don't
There's so much.
we
What
don't
I-
even scratch the surface.
Here's
of
another
what's-
one. Here's
You-
another one. Here's another one that's intriguing that you might not have known about. The U.S. has an ice cube gun. We created an ice cube gun that can shoot out a small piece of ice, and it's sharp, about this big, and it's filled with poison. So that way, when it goes into your body, it melts and you die, and nobody has the cause of death. Other thing we created that exists, a microwave gun. We can shoot somebody from space with a satellite with a microwave gun, and it immobilizes them almost immediately with pain. That's a real thing. That's a real.
well, not that we know of. They just literally made a gun, mounted it on top of an MRAP, and then they used it as crowd control, and it worked. But I mean, I'm sure they could have made one in space. It may be up there. Who the fuck knows? But that's
Another
what they-
weapon. Another weapon we have that most people don't know is we have a heart attack gun. We have a gun that can take the rhythm of your heart off beat and give you a heart attack on the spot.
Never knew that.
Yep,
Never
that's another
heard of-
one.
Where do you
Yep.
get this information?
Yeah.
I'm deep in. I get deep in the rabbit hole, and I just go all the way down until I get to the bottom, and then I come
Well-
all the way back up.
Some of those are way too far fetched.
I could believe that ice, but why? Why do we?
For political assassinations. That's the main reason.
People you just blow them up.
You can't do that nowadays. You can't, because then that causes war. If you want to get to a political spot without causing war, you do it without causing a problem. You make them disappear without anyone knowing what happened.
You know how you do that? You know how you do that? You send in people to train.
Yeah, because first of all, hold on. First of all, that's false because Trump and they fucking bombed those Middle Eastern dudes, and they didn't give a fuck.
Well, they did. They were mad at first. They were all mad, and actually, there are retaliation groups growing because of that. So I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, the reason why he did it is because they kept fucking taking our people out.
Yeah, I understand.
I understand that, but like you
Yeah.
said, when they said they can't blow people, no, Trump was like, no, fuck this. I will do that. Like shit.
Yeah.
We almost went to war with fucking what was it, North Korea? That shit would have been crazy.
See, I'm not too worried about North Korea.
Why?
I'm really not. I'm just not too worried about them. They can hardly get a missile off the ground. Why should I worry about them building a nuke?
They already
Well,
had.
Nuke, and they already proved that they can see.
Yeah, but they don't go. They don't go as far as they want them to. They never land or explode the way they want them to. They always have misfires.
Tell me something. Have you watched him? Were you there watching him do the tests? Because I guarantee you they've got shit that works. However,
Oh, I'm sure they do.
what,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna fucking do it until an oh shit moment happens, and it won't even. I guarantee you.
It'll come down to the moment where they have nothing left to lose, and they're just gonna be like, all right, and then they're gonna push the button and say fuck you to
Well,
everyone.
and here's the other problem with North Korea. Everyone's worried about North Korea going off the handle. They're allies with China. You think China is going to give North Korea the buttons for any nukes? No, China. What China did is China came in there and said, "We'll help you out, but we're controlling everything you do." I guarantee you, that's what's happening with China and North Korea. Is
Oh,
China
yeah.
is running that country and nobody knows it.
Well, the Chinese have always been.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So, and they've always provided foreign aid. That's the only foreign. Even in Korean War, we offered foreign aid while us people starved on the streets.
Like
So,
China, North Korea is China's dog. If they want someone to be scared, they send North Korea. They're just a barking dog. That's all they are to China and the rest of the world. That's
no,
why I'm
they're
not even worried about them.
that, brother. That's they're about worth. You are right.
Yeah.
But when if they do press the button,
I hope our defense systems kick in.
and that's
Right.
all in now, like it's not gonna make a fucking bit of difference. They're
Right.
all in it. So it's all a giant fucking spider web of deceit. That's
It's
it.
true. Well, we're going to talk about home and cloning, human cloning for the last little bit here we got left because we don't have much time left. But
Cloning.
it does exist, to my understanding.
Not I've done
Because I know
research.
there's different. Well, I know there's different terms.
Well, they clone body parts. That's literally where the science stems from. Clone parts, organ replacement,
Yes. Yeah.
shit like that. They've grown ears and body tissue off of a rat. They've done all kinds of stuff. But it's theoretically possible to clone.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can clone, but you need a surrogate mother. So
yeah,
they take the DNA, they make the baby, then they inject it in, and then she has the baby.
you need the egg. You don't really
Yes.
need as much as you just need a uterus.
Yes. So
However,
that's crazy. They can literally make a clone of anybody, but
They can-
you can't age them up. They have to grow themselves, and
yeah.
they would have a mind of their own.
But if you cloned, say you took the DNA out of a child that was in the womb, and you chose to clone that, you'd have a twin coming from another mother.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't, I mean, you'd be a test tube baby. Which
Well,
you've
that's
already-
what I'm saying. They could use a test tube as well as an embryo, because
Mhm.
they've proven that works as well. So they don't even need the mother. Actually, they can make humans out of nothing.
a
DNA.
synthetic. You need
Yeah.
a synthetic. That's all. But
So when
once-
the music industry and movie industry are talking about all these clones and everything, and Project, Monarch Butterflies and everything else we just talked about connecting,
Oh god, my thing froze again.
kind of works, kind of connects. Because
well,
if
I
they
mean,
can make a clone and then they use Project Monarch to get them into the form they want them to be, bada bing, bada boom, you have the exact replica of somebody who's either passed away, died, or others.
well, that's not entirely proven, mainly because it's still a different person. You're not going to clone their memories. They
Well, that's
could
what I'm
be
saying. That's what the mind control's for. That's where you would implant the memories. They all work connecting. They're all
but you can't really program a human brain like a computer. Unless if you give it unless you get into neuroscience, which we only understand about 10% of how the human works. It looks like a fucking universe.
That is the universe.
Yeah, I mean it's insane. Your brain is how it functions. Crazy.
It's nuts.
But back to human cloning. What do you think it's ethical?
Oh no, no, it's definitely not. No,
No,
but it
there's-
happens. Our government does it regardless.
Well, maybe. There's
See,
really
I don't think an actual human's been cloned.
I believe maybe it was, but I don't think the
Honestly,
government
I don't see why they want it.
thing. But what is the purpose? Why would you want to clone somebody?
There's a couple reasons. You can use them for human repopulation if something were to happen. You can use them for body doubles if you need someone that looks like you or whatnot.
But how, like you said, you can't age them.
I know.
So-
This is what this is where it all comes together, and there's only one word I gotta say to explain all this. Illuminati. Illuminati.
God,
They planned it
Yeah.
all from the get-go, brother. From
No.
before you're even born, they have it planned. What's gonna happen?
No. There may be a shadow government out there. But
That's the
they're
only
not
explanation I have. Because why would our government put money into any of this?
genetics. You know how, you get research, you understand how the human body develops, works, all that good shit. You can clone, like, different organs.
Yeah.
You can literally take tissue off of somebody else's fucked up heart, have it cloned.
And I think that was probably their intention from the get-go, but with all government projects, they go straight to weaponizing or how
Well,
we can exploit this to make
not
money.
always. Maybe the money, you're right. But you can't weapon. Why? There's no legitimate purpose. You're not going to spend billions of, it'd be like trillions of dollars out of the GDP to clone thousands of people, unless if
There's also things they can do, such as genetic altercation, make them feel no pain, make them, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that as well.
the only reason there'd be no point. They've already got so many people they've spent millions of dollars training to just replace them. Like that's
So let me throw a scenario at you why there would be a point. You guys have conscience, okay? You guys can say no if they give you an order that you don't like. Now, if they have these clones who don't have consciences and who are stronger, faster, don't feel pain, that's a pretty good reason why you'd want clones over. It's the same reason the Jedi's did it. All right, it's the same thing.
okay. Let me just completely dump on.
All right, hold on. Let Nike. Wait, Nike's got a point here. What are you gonna say? It's been a while since Nike says.
I was just gonna say I don't think any of that's happened yet. I don't think that cloning's come along that far yet. The human genetic, it's too much right now. Like you said, no conscience. No, if you're cloning someone, that person's gonna have a conscience.
However,
Right.
if that's the case, why the fuck wouldn't you just use a robot?
Because of artificial intelligence, we don't understand that less than we understand the human brain. So that's why.
That's what I mean. The human brain is more complex than if you were to do AI.
Right. But AI, we don't know what the consequences are because it's linked to everything. That's the problem with AI.
AI.
And that's why I don't think they've got that far on cloning then. If you don't know much about the machine and the AI and how that works, then you don't truly understand the human body then.
But we can make test tube, like we can alter babies in the womb. We've done it before. We've changed their eye colors, we've changed their nose features, we've changed bunches of stuff. That's why I don't understand. Maybe not neuroscience, but
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Well, I'm talking about like the actual genetic blueprint of the soul. They don't understand that yet.
right.
That's
yeah,
what makes a person
yes,
a person.
That's yes, the soul. Yes.
But like they
That's-
can't go. They're not going in and breeding a baby and taking its conscience out.
Right,
That's part of
no,
the soul. You
no,
can't do it.
theoretically, that's what I'm saying. They could theoretically go there if they wanted to make a soldier. If they wanted to go there.
But here's the thing. It would be pointless. Because you already have something like that. It's called a machine. You don't need AI. You already have kids, like gamer kids, sitting in a fucking Connex box in Arizona piloting drones, wiping out whole building, and going home and eating dinner with your family like it's just another day, because it's a fucking game to them. You
Right.
detach yourself from reality when you're looking at a screen. It's not like you're kicking in a door and you have to make a split-second decision and live with that the rest of your life. You don't even know what the fuck you're dealing with. You just get a target, beep, done. We've
Yeah.
already taken human aspect. We've already protected that. Why would you spend billions of dollars on something that completely?
Right. Well, I
Yeah.
think the invention of drones is something that did impact that field of them going forward with that, because drones does change the game. With getting soldiers in and out, you don't have to with drones. You can attack from the sky and be just as safe. Using that, you can use them for recon. You can use them for a whole bunch of stuff, not just drones, but RC cars and other technological advances that they've used to help out in the battle.
Right.
So
So the only real purpose to cloning would be cloning bodies.
yeah, like if you get
For-
cancer, then you can redo a liver or a heart or a lung.
And that's what the military would do, because you can get somebody back in the action. Say you punctured the liver, you got through the liver, you got shrapnel somewhere, you burned yourself really bad. You can get that guy back by that, like within a couple months of rehab in a clone part. And you're back.
And that's what I'm saying. You never know. That could be the cure to cancer, and that could be why they haven't moved forward with it. That would be one of the only cures I can think of, is to clone the part and replace it.
Yeah, that's
I mean, that
that's
would
the,
work.
in my opinion, that would be it.
Yeah.
You clone another human being, then you're taking humanity away from that individual. They weren't born.
Oh, this is a crazy scenario. Imagine this in 2022, 2023. Human organ factories where it's literally just clones made just to be killed and harvested for organs. And that's a full-time job.
That terrible. A and B. Once again, like that never, because you could clone a body part in a tube just as fast or faster.
Well, but imagine that mass market. How many people are going to need them
It doesn't
at the
matter.
same time?
Human being just to remove the organ when all you have to do is clone it in the tube.
Right.
I mean, they literally have done that where they've even cloned them on the back of rats. They've
Yeah,
made
I know. Yeah.
a rat. And
Well, that's like, I'm saying that's small market though. There's not a lot of people get cloned items nowadays. But I'm saying if they opened it up and it became mass market, they would need lots and lots of organs.
right. It'd be easier to manufacture it in a tube than,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, if you, granted, you get the whole fucking package in one, or you can just go, we order 300 process material for 42, wait a month, the fuckers develop. Instead of
Touche. All right, we're going a little.
back, clap.
We're getting a little long on this one here. We're going to wrap it up. We talked a little bit about all the craziness that the government goes through. We got into war a little bit. I don't know where that came from, but we did. It happened. As always, guys, we keep it real here on Tough Shit. If you don't like what we have to say, well,
Tough shit.
all I heard was shit. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Keep it here on Laugh Your Brains Out. Every Friday we are coming here with the Tough Shit podcast. So just keep it here. I've been your host, Ghost. Oh, I already said that. Just kidding. Until next time, guys. Adios.
Adios.